Yes, it's time for another album ranking. Today we are ranking the legendary band Opeth. Now, Opeth have as close to a flawless discography in my opinion, and every single album has got its absolute strengths, but there are some albums that have some weaknesses, and this is definitely one of the hardest rankings I've ever had to do, along with the Death ranking that I had to do last week, and also the Insomnium ranking that I'm going to do next week. Right now we're focusing on Opeth. You know what, I had a joy listening to their music again, from Orchid all the way up to Cauda Venemun. And speaking of Cauda Venemun is the weakest Opeth album in my opinion. So this album is coming last, and the reason why I'm saying it's coming last, I just feel that this is the weakest album. Although sonically it is a pretty good album, it's very jazzy at times, incorporating progressive metal elements, I just feel that some songs are quite weak. Surely you have songs like Lovelorn Crime, which has an absolutely amazing guitar solo, but Charlatan is definitely one of the weakest Opeth songs. I just don't like that song. I believe there's no guitar in Charlatan as well. You got the song Garrita, which is very jazzy, and I love the song Universal Truth. You got one of the best closers off the album, All Things Will Pass, and I love the melody. Love that outro. But Cauda Venemun, in my opinion, is their weakest. Coming in at number 12 is Heritage. Love this album. At first I said, nah, Heritage is going down the bottom. But when I listened to Heritage again, I absolutely started to fall in love with it. I just love how different this album is. It's a very different Opeth album. Doesn't sound metal, it's more of a 70s bass rock album, incorporating elements of that progressive style, avant-garde style, different to any Opeth album. It's such a really enjoyable album, such as songs like Folklore, along with The Devil's Orchid as well. Absolutely fantastic song. Really love the guitar solos on this. And I Feel the Dark is another great song. It's just a really awesome album to listen to. I feel this album loses its cohesion. Awesome album overall, with so many different surprises along the way. I know a lot of people would have this a little bit higher than me, but also this album is definitely one of the most divisive Opeth albums. Some people hate it and some people love it, but there are so many other better Opeth albums out there. But damn, Heritage is one of the most interesting gems of Opeth's discography. So next up is Pale Communion. Another fantastic fucking album, definitely one of the softest Opeth albums. Certainly there are some really awesome songs like Custom Eternity. My favorite song off the album would probably be River. I just love River. I really love how proggy it is, the awesome guitar solos as well throughout some of these songs. But River is definitely one of my favorite songs. Moon Above, Sun Below, which is like a 10-minute song. Michael's vocals on this are absolutely fucking fantastic. Love his cleaner vocals throughout this album, and tell there's a lot of emotion expressed throughout these songs. Overall, the lyrics are pretty strong as well. Fantastic songwriting, and really enjoy the overall elements of surprises throughout the song, especially through Voice of Treason, which has such amazing melodic guitar riff. But awesome songs, incorporating elements of acoustic style along with electric style, was just making this album into one tight and cohesive masterpiece. And this is a really great fucking album by Opeth. Absolutely love it. So coming in next is, this might trigger a few people, but you know what, fuck you, this is my ranking. It's Damnation. Damnation's a fantastic album. This is a full-on acoustic album. Where Deliverance was one of the most heaviest albums Opeth had done, you had Damnation, which was soft, which had amazing songwriting, which had amazing guitar. You had songs like Window Pane, In My Time of Need. How fucking great is that song, especially that chorus, very sing-alongable, very catchy choruses throughout this album. This is like the album where Opeth has actual choruses in their songs. I love how different this album is. It's got a lot of emotion. Songs like Hope Leads to Rid the Disease, very emotional connection towards the listener. I don't think you can compare Damnation to Ghost Reveries or Damnation to even Sorceress. Speaking of Sorceress, that is the next one we're talking about. So Sorceress is such a really enjoyable album. One thing that Sorceress isn't higher is the overall production. The production on this album is quite murky, it's quite muddy, but fuck, I love the retro feeling throughout this this album. It sounds very retro, this album. Absolutely love so many songs. Love the title track, Sorceress, Will-O-the-Wisp, Chrysalis, a very heavy song. Now this album, you could say, is probably the most heaviest Opeth album in the modern Opeth days, in my opinion. The songs like Strange Brew, A Fleeting Glance, Era, such an amazing song. It's such a really awesome album. I really like the production on this album. I love how different this album feels, and Mikhail's vocals on this are absolutely fantastic as always. Really love his angelic vocals, incorporating a harsher grunt to his vocal style. Really enjoy Sorceress. Listening to Sorceress before lockdown, driving from Melbourne to my place, was an absolute treat. It takes you on an adventure. So coming in at number 8 is the concept album, My Arms, Your Hearse. Now this is a fantastic fucking album. A lot of people would actually have this a little bit higher, but in my opinion, there are better Opeth albums out there. Really love how aggressive this album is. Now this is much more aggressive than the predecessors like Morningrise and Orchid, which was more of a black metal style. I really enjoy My Arms, Your Hearse. I love the story of it. Fantastic fucking songwriting. Lyric wise, it's really good as well. I just love how the last lyric starts with the next song. So damn good. It got songs like When, got songs like Demon of the Force, so damn good. I just love how hard and energetic this album is. Demon of the Force was one of the best Opeth songs in my opinion. So such a really enjoyable album. I absolutely love this album. And coming in at number 7 is a controversial Blackwater Park. It's another great album. Absolutely love it. Love Stephen Wilson's vocals on this album. On Bleak, Stephen Wilson was the main producer on this album, and you tell the overall production really improved. Songs like Leaper Affinity, The Drapery Falls, that melody on The Drapery Falls is so damn good. That guitar melody. Mikhail's vocals are unbelievable. Love his angelic vocals, love his harsh aggressive vocals, and his vocals on this album are just one of the best of any album in my opinion. Really love the ending, Blackwater Park. It's so damn good. It's 12 minutes long and it's got an absolutely amazall story to it. Overall the lyrics are pretty strong. Really love the song Dirge for November. Really tight to Keith's songs. Amazing moments as well throughout this album. There's a few albums that are slightly more cohesive than Blackwater Park. Next up is Ghost Reveries. Now a lot of people would actually have this higher, but in my opinion, it stays here because this album really grew on me. It really did. When I first heard this album, I said, yeah, okay, it's good, but I don't understand the hype to it. A lot of people were telling me this is their best album, and I disagree with that because I feel there are a lot stronger albums than Ghost Reveries. But damn, this album really grew on me, and it grew on me and grew on me until I absolutely started to fucking love it. Love the song Ghost of Perdition, the Bang of the Hounds as well, amazing guitar moments. Song that I did not like, Atonement, at first, I absolutely fucking love the melody. So damn good. And then you got Reverie, Harlequin Forest, and The Grand Conjuration. So many good songs off this album, but of course there are a few softer moments throughout this album, like The Hours of Wealth, which maybe shouldn't have been on this album. It just breaks up the heaviness between some of these songs. Hours of Wealth and Isolation Years are just one of the hit and miss songs off the album. But putting these two songs also makes the album flow very well. It's a very different Opeth album in my opinion because they incorporate elements of that acoustic style along with that heavy style as well. So you can also get some really nice acoustic moments throughout some of this album, and you can also get some acoustic based songs as well, like Isolation Years. So it's really hard to put Ghost Reveries in this position, but I did. Coming in at number 5 is their debut album, Orchid. Alright, so this album is absolutely fucking fantastic. This is more of a black metal album by this band. Mikhail's vocals are absolutely fucking fantastic. Really love his black metal screams throughout some of these songs, but the instrumental wise, this album is flawless in my opinion. It really is. I just love the overall production on this album. It's got that black metal tone. Really enjoy the harsh and aggressive instrumentals along with the drums as well, but not to mention how beautiful some of these guitar moments are throughout this album. In the Mist She Was Standing, such an amazing song. I love The Twilight Is My Road, Under the Weeping Moon, along with The Apostle in Triumph. So many good fucking damn songs. Absolutely love it. And Requiem, just to split up how epic this album is, and I absolutely love Orchid. I feel it's one of their best albums, and it's just one of the best debut albums in my opinion. Even though it wasn't that proggy death metal that we got to know Opeth throughout the next few albums, but damn, this is a beautiful black metal album by this band. Alright, so coming in at number 4 is Morningrise. This is their sophomore album, and it's absolutely fucking fantastic, incorporating elements of that black metal along with that progressive death metal. Mikhail started to change his vocals, especially through songs like Advent, Nectar, and not to mention Black Rose Immortal, which is like a 20-minute masterpiece. So many proggy elements, beautiful guitar moments. His vocals are amazing. I love his cleaner vocals throughout some of these songs, especially like songs like To Bid You Farewell. Amazing acoustic moments. Such a really enjoyable fucking album that if you haven't checked out the early Opeth stuff, you better well fucking check it out, because if you like that sort of progressive black metal, you're gonna really enjoy this album. But of course, you can tell that Opeth was starting to change the style, especially when My Arms Your Hearse came out, where it was more of that proggy death metal style, and I absolutely love that album. Definitely one of the most underrated albums by this band. You should listen to it because it's absolutely fucking fantastic. So coming in at number 3 is Watershed. Holy crap. Now, if Heritage was like Watershed, I would absolutely fucking love Heritage. I absolutely love Heritage now. Absolutely love Heritage a little bit more because I just love how different this album is by Opeth. Mikhail incorporates growls, and then he incorporates cleaner vocals, but then you got a woman singing in the song Coil, which is so damn melodic. Heir Apparent is amazing, along with that fantastic ballad Burden, along Porcelain Heart, The Hessian Pill, and then you got Hex Omega. So many great cohesive songs on this album. Absolutely love the drum work, one of the best drumming on this album. I love the fills throughout some of these songs, especially through Heir Apparent. Just a really gritty guitar riffs, just overall escalates this album next level. I love how proggy and some strange and weird moments you get throughout Watershed. So many cool moments. And this was my 3rd Opeth album I listened to. I said, holy shit, this is one of the best Opeth albums I've listened to. Absolutely fell in love with it. And one album I absolutely fell in love with, and it's my first Opeth album that I heard, and I actually did a full reaction to this whole entire album. It is Still Life. Holy fucking shit. Well, this album is amazing. It really is. I was tying up between Still Life or Deliverance, and I picked Still Life as my second pick. There's no way Still Life was going to go below Watershed, below Ghost Reveries or anything, because Still Life is a masterpiece by Opeth, and of course there is another masterpiece by Opeth in my opinion, but we'll get to that album next. But Still Life is amazing. I love the concept of the album. My Arms Your Hearse was a concept album as well. Moved on to Still Life, and that was another concept album. This concept was absolutely fantastic. I love songs like Face of Melinda. Face of Melinda is so damn good. I love the crescendo building moments. I love how heavy that song is at the end, and you got songs like Serenity Painted Death. So damn good as well. I love that chorus on Serenity Painted Death. Then you got the White Cluster, Benighted. Oh, yeah, this album is amazing. It's absolutely fucking amazing. I love the guitar work. Love his vocal style as well. More of harsh and aggressive vocal style by Mikhail, but incorporates cleaner vocals throughout some of these songs. But what I love is the overall story of this album. About Melinda. About the overall perspective of the town as well. How this individual is trying to find this person, Melinda, in order to warn her. One of the best Opeth albums in my opinion. One of the best albums of all time. I know my mate Quest for Metal, which you may know him, has Still Life as his favorite album of all time. Absolutely love that album, but of course there's one Opeth album that is slightly better, just slightly better, that I prefer. It's Deliverance. You could say this album is the heaviest Opeth album. Songs like Reef, songs like Deliverance. The outro on Deliverance is absolutely fucking amazing. I love Fair Judgment. That bloody guitar melody in Fair Judgment. Love that melody on Fair Judgment. I absolutely love Mikhail's vocals on this album. Master's Apprentice as well. The gritty guitar riff. riffs throughout this song, the guitar solos as well, the emotion that he conveys towards the listener. In my opinion, it is the best Opeth album, and I fucking well love it. So guys, I finally attempted that Opeth album ranking. Comment below if you agree or disagree with my opinion. I hope you did enjoy it. Also comment below your favorite Opeth album as well. Also comment below what bands you want me to rank next. So keep discussion going in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.